Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today we have some kind of crazy news. LEGO Friends is officially relaunching. We got a teaser of this yesterday, but I didn't think it would be announced like the very next day. So there's a bunch of new changes happening. We've got a new logo, color palette, like design, new lineup of friends. Literally everything is changing. This is not a soft reboot. This is a complete and total reboot of the Friends brand. Similar to what I think they're going to be doing to Ninjago in 2023 as well. So it's really interesting to see that two of LEGO's biggest and most profitable original themes are being like completely, like utterly redesigned, like from the ground up. So I think it's very exciting, but I also hate change, so I'm a little bit worried about it. So here are the new friends. We've got Paisley, Autumn, Aaliyah, Leo, Leon, Ollie, Nova, and Zach. So there are three boys joining the lineup, but we do still have five girls. And I'm really loving the redesign because of how much more personality and individuality I feel has been brought into the Friends theme. So obviously we have completely new characters. And there's a lot of diversity. I don't want to see any stupid comments about that because some LEGO fans can get really riled up over this kind of stuff. I think it is absolutely wonderful to have characters of different skin colors, of different personalities, and Autumn is actually born without like a limb, which I think it's really cool to see that kind of representation in mini dolls. That is a new like torso mold that they have made for these sets. And I think that that is really, really cool to see more disability representation in LEGO, especially after LEGO City has already been doing a lot of that in the last like 2 years or so. I think it's great to see it coming to LEGO Friends. And the other thing about diversity in toys is that people complaining about it, like, you guys just look stupid, to be quite honest. Because people are like, oh, like, it didn't used to be like this. And it's like, yeah, it didn't used to be like this, and that was a bad thing, because the world is not... Like a lot of LEGO fans will get, like, very upset when they see, like, traditionally, like, white franchises have, like, a bunch of people of color introduced into them. But, like, the world is not white. Like, everyone is not Caucasian. There is a very diverse world out there if you, like, open your eyes. And so I think it's wonderful to see that being reflected in LEGO. And that is something they said that they saw in their research, is that kids were asking, like, why aren't there more people that look like me? And that is something very important. I mean, I'm still pretty young. Like, I was only a kid like 10 years ago, but there were definitely not like people that looked like me in the toys I was buying. And I think I would have liked it more if there were. So here is the new Friends logo. It is a little bit more gender neutral. I do like it. I think it's a nice update to the original. So I don't really have any complaints about it because it's still like familiar enough. Like, the font hasn't changed too much, but as you can see, there are more colors, and they are moving a little bit away from the pastel colors, they said, which I think is kind of sad because I really, really enjoyed the pastel colors of the last few years in LEGO Friends. I'm a big pastel fan in general. Like, I really like lighter shades of colors. But LEGO says they're changing the color palette to be more jewel toned, and the primary color for LEGO Friends has been changed to teal, not purple. Unfortunately, the boxes are also not going to be like with the curved edges anymore, because I guess that was seen as a little too girly. I'm sad to see that as well, because I thought that that was really unique and I liked it. But these are the new box designs. So as you can see, it is much, much more gender neutral. And I think that that's a great thing, because I think that these colors still appeal. Like, these colors still fit very well with what they're trying to, like, kind of rebrand the Friends into. Like, I mean, I was just doing a project for my marketing class on like gaming today. I had to do like a presentation on it, and we were talking about how like there's mission based games and lifestyle based games, and Lego Friends is a lifestyle based like toy theme, whereas something like Lego Ninjago is more like mission or like action based. And so I think that the colors that they've chosen are more unisex, but they are definitely still like kind of fitting with that lifestyle theme. And personally, I'm a big lifestyle player. I definitely love action. Like, when I used to play with my Lego sets a lot, I would take the Friends sets and they would totally be thrown right into the action. I would love having Friends buildings be like the backdrop for my superhero fights. But I do quite like lifestyle play. Like, and that's why I love Lego Friends so much. I think Lego Friends has been one of Lego's best themes for several years now, and it's been overlooked for too long because, again, it leans more like feminine with the colors and everything. And so I think it's great that Lego isn't compromising on the quality of the builds, but they are making it more unisex. So we will take a closer look at the builds, but I wanted to take, because they did reveal 5 sets today, but I also wanted to take a look at the new characters. And sorry, something I forgot to mention is that the original friends aren't going anywhere. Like, they haven't died. Like, this isn't like set in a new universe or anything. This is kind of like a legacy sequel, like the Star Wars sequels are kind of. So there's going to be grown up friends in the new show and in the sets, because they said that. So Mia, adult Mia, is the mother of one of our main characters, Autumn, and the rest of the original friends, they said, will be making cameo appearances in both the series and in the sets, although they will be adults. So I think that's super exciting. I do get like legacy sequel vibes from this, like, oh, like which one of these kids could be like the kid of an original friend? Because we already know that Autumn is Mia's kid, but we don't know who else's kid. And I never watched the Friends TV show or anything. Again, I just like the sets because I think the builds are great. But I'm super excited for this. And the reason that I want to talk about the characters is because I think it's great to see characters that are so multi-dimensional and not just like defined by one trait. And that's something that Brickset did an interview with the Friends designers about, and they talked, or the Friends relaunch team, and they talked about how you won't have any of like the icons that were associated with previous Friends. So like how Andrea always had something related to music in her sets. Like, there is a character that likes music in this new theme, but music is not going to be in every single one of those sets because music does not define who she is. So I really like how much personality everybody has, especially like a character like Autumn, who kind of seems like the main character of the reboot to me because she's in like a lot of sets and seems to have a lot of focus. So Autumn is like a big outdoors person, even though she does have like a missing arm, and and she is like a little bit of a rule breaker and a daredevil. But I also really like that Lego like specifically calls out that she spends a lot of time with animals, and she gets annoyed with the drama of people and needs alone time to decompress, especially if she has to make an important decision, and her best friend understands that. And so some of the best times they've had as friends is just silent moments together, enjoying each other's company. And I think that that's something very important to show kids, because like those are real emotions. Like, people do feel like that. Like, I've definitely felt like that. Like, sometimes you don't want to deal with the drama of people. And that's something that I think really sets this apart from the previous iteration of Lego Friends, because Lego Friends was great. Like, the characters were all like fine, but like I never really felt like they were characters. And again, I didn't care about them. Like, I cared about the sets. The characters to me were just people to like put in the buildings. But these characters already feel like more real, multifaceted people than the original five friends. So quickly going through the rest of the characters, we've got Leo, who is like the first boy that's introduced in this lineup. I really love that he enjoys cooking. Like, he seems to be pretty like sporty and athletic as well. But I think it's really awesome that he's got like that side to him as well, because again, it shows that boys can have interests that have in the past been traditionally like seen as like something for girls to do because of, gender roles, which is not really true. Like, boys can also enjoy cooking. Although I don't think he's a very good cook, because he seems to be holding fish and icing, and I'm very afraid that he is going to put those two together. Like, that terrifies me. I don't know why he's holding those things together. So that really scares me. But I mean, I love that torso print for his hoodie. But yeah, it says his friends love his beach snacks, but if his beach snacks are fish with icing on it, then I think he needs to spend a little bit more time in the kitchen. Then we've got Zach. Zach is my least favorite friend already because he looks annoying to me. Like, that expression on his face is just very irritating. And actually, speaking of expressions, I never realized this, but apparently mini dolls always smile. Like, all of the friends have always just smiled all the time. And in Brickset's interview with the relaunch team, they did say that like there is tension being built into these new relationships because these guys aren't best friends yet. They're going to start out not knowing each other. And so there is going to be tension. People will be closer with like there'll be smaller groups within the larger friend group, which is how, it works in real life. So I really like that. But because of that tension, they said that, yeah, we will be getting like mini doll faces that are kind of grumpy or like sad sometimes. And everyone won't be smiling all the time. And again, I think that that's very important because I never even thought about that. But again, like once you change up the expressions on like a minifigure or a mini doll's face, it opens up a lot more play and it lets kids explore more emotions than just positivity, which is very important. So the reason Zach annoys me is because I think he has a little bit of a big head. It says he's smart, he's cute, he's athletic, he's funny, he's a great dancer and a decent singer. And I'm like, that's too many things. Pick one. Not pick one. You can you can have more than one interest, but it seems a little bit obnoxious. But I mean, I'm kidding. I feel like I'm sure there's more to him than meets the eye. Then we've got Leanne, who I believe is an East Asian character, so I guess kind of like Emma's counterpart. Love the torso print here. I think that that looks really cool. And I love all of the new hair pieces, by the way. There are so many new hair pieces, and you guys know how I'm always complaining about there not being enough female minifigure hair pieces. And of course, because these are compatible with minifigures, now we're getting a bunch of new molds, which I'm very excited to see. So Leanne, I think, is very creative, but it also says that she is easily distracted, which, again, like little simple things like this that do reflect real life are really nice to see because I definitely feel like that sometimes. Then we've got Ollie, who is really into fashion, it looks like. And I think there's like there's something else about him that I thought was interesting. It says growing up in a working class family, Ollie was not able to afford designer brands or private classes, but there's nothing in the world that can stop him when he sets his mind to something. Again, having different backgrounds for your characters, I think, is really important because in school, you're gonna have friends that aren't from the same background as you. You're gonna have friends that come from different cultures, from different like maybe like social classes, and so I think that that is important to like teach kids. So the one thing I don't love about Ollie is that Lego did say that they would be exploring like sexual orientation as well and stuff like that in the future. And Ollie seems like a little bit of a stereotype to me because he seems like he's just the gay best friend, to be quite honest. Because I mean, he's a white blonde boy that's into fashion. Like that is like the quintessential twink. So I'll reserve judgment until like the show comes out and like the sets come out, but just based on this description and his appearance, I'm not left with a very positive impression. I love the new hairpiece, I will say that. But yeah, like if Lego does want to explore sexual orientation, which I think they absolutely should, and Friends is a great place to do it, I think that they might need to not like lean into stereotypes like that. So I will be paying like close attention to this character to like see what they do with him. Then we've got Paisley, who I also like quite a lot. She seems to be very like shy and anxious, which again, like there are a lot of shy and anxious kids, so it's good to see that represented. I love her hairpiece. I think her hairpiece is really, really awesome. She does seem quite nervous. Oh, she has a new mold for the pants as well that like goes over the shoes. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, I like her hairpiece a lot. And it says that she likes music, but and it's really important to her because her late mother was a recording artist back in the 90s, and so she likes to play music as a way of remembering and connecting with her mom. Once again, great background, like introduced to the character. I really love that. And it says that like Ollie like encourages her to share her music, but she has to work on her insecurity and self-consciousness, which I'm very excited to see how these storylines play out. And then we've got Nova, who is like an influencer, which is kind of funny, but like influencers are like a big thing nowadays. So it says her streaming channel has over 500,000 followers. She's well known in the gaming community, and she gets tons of likes and comments on everything she posts. But in real life, she's a little bit of a loner. And she seems to lean a little bit into like darkness. Like they talked about this in the relaunch interview as well, where they said that she's really into like scary horror movies rather than popular sitcoms. She's got a deadpan sense of humor. She's got a blunt personality. And she's softer on the inside, a thoughtful person, but like she does have this kind of like darker exterior, and she has a hard time opening up to people. But I think that that is like, again, that's a very like in-depth character, and that is like something new and fresh that we haven't really seen in Lego before, especially with female characters. And you can see that her dog here is actually handicapped. So he's in a little doggy wheelchair, or she. I don't know what gender her dog is. But I think that it's a very interesting new mold. I think it's kind of funny to see a Lego Friends styled wiener dog in a wheelchair. But again, like it's really cool to see animals like in a wheelchair like that. I will say though, I wish they had done something with the animals to differentiate them a little bit. I've never really had a huge problem with Friends animals, but it would be nice if they were closer to city ones. I don't mind mini dolls. I like mini dolls, but I think that I would prefer if the animals were closer to like Lego's standard animal designs. Like you could still print eyelashes and stuff on the Friends animals, but I do think it's weird to have like whatever, like a regular Lego fish and then a super stylized Lego dog with eyelashes. So I think that they should have taken this opportunity to make the animals like the same molds as Lego City with just different prints, because I would really love if this was like compatible with the Lego City, but instead it's in a very cartoony style that wouldn't work in Lego City. And now we have the 5 sets that were revealed today. Unfortunately, they are not on Lego.com, so I do need to just get the images off of Brickset. But I think that they look pretty interesting. I am expecting that there will be more sets releasing in January, but these are just the 5 that Lego has chosen to reveal today. So there are a bunch of statistics here that will break down like why they're including more diversity and stuff, which I highly encourage anybody annoyed about this to check out. 97% of parents think that it's important to discuss unique individuality. 75% think ethnicity is important. 73% of children felt like there weren't enough toys with characters that represented them. Like, these are important things that Lego is doing. So I do appreciate that. And it's very nice to see, because I think that this is a very strong choice and a good choice for the company after some bad choices that I didn't like in 2022. So this is Paisley's house. It is a 4+ set, so I think it's kind of lame to do a house as a 4+ set, because usually the Friends house sets are really cool. Love that color hairpiece on her little sister, and then like I said, I do love Paisley's new both pants mold and her new hair mold. I really like the hair. I hope that's used in minifigure sets. So that's cool. Don't really have anything else to say. These are the only images, so unfortunately we don't have any interiors or anything. But I'm sure I'll cover them again once like all of the January Friends sets are revealed. Then we've got the Dog Rescue Center, which also good prices on these sets. This is $60 in 2023 for 600 pieces, and for something this big, I am very impressed with that. Like, thank you, Lego, for not making these sets ridiculously overpriced like some 2022 ones, because I do feel like they could have put this at like 70 or 80, like just to be greedy. Love that hairpiece. Holy cow. Love the color for that, like both for the bandana and the actual hair itself. I'm not loving the builds as much as usual, though, so I don't think I'm going to... Well, I don't know if I'm going to get any of these. I might just scoop up the new hair pieces and stuff online, because it seems very plain to me. Like, it seems like kind of boring. Like, the way these skylights are built seems a little bit rudimentary. And again, I know that these sets are aimed at younger kids, but Friends is usually very, like, forward-thinking and, like, envelope-pushing when it comes to builds. And, like, the rest of this building just looks super plain. I do like the window that sticks out, but it just doesn't really appeal to me. Even the tree looks, like, pretty basic. Autumn's new hairpiece is awesome. There is her, like, her missing limb, which I think is a great new piece. I really like her hairpiece as well. Love that hairpiece too. I don't think that's new, but it's a good hairpiece. And then you can see that this dog is not super happy, but that is like a brand new wheelchair mold that looks really awesome. And this dog is actually a little sad. So again, I like that they're expressing different, or they're putting different expressions on like these dogs and stuff. Like even this smile is like a little bit more cautious, I feel like, and not just like eye to eye beaming like usual. Then we've got the Heart Lake Downtown Diner, 346 pieces for $30. This looks great. I really like that minifigure of Leanne. And I think that's a new hairpiece, maybe. Looks excellent. Very excited about it. And I love the color for that hairpiece. That color, that is my favorite color in Lego, like that light aqua. So I probably wouldn't buy this set, actually, because I need to like cut down. I need to stop buying so many Friends sets. But I do like the look of it. Then we have Autumn's house, which it seems like most people like the most. It's got 853 pieces for $70 US. So excellent value for money there. I do like it. I just don't like it as much as some other houses. Personally, Andrea's house from, I think it was like 2019 or 2020. That is like my favorite Lego Friends house. Like, I still haven't dismantled it because every time I think about it, I just like it too much. But I do really like the teal. I like the green. Again, it just doesn't seem like as interesting of a build as some other Lego Friends sets. I really like the tree off to the side and then like this little build, but that's kind of it. The chairs are really nice too, actually. So we've got Autumn in this set again, and I think that's Leo, and then is that Aaliyah? I'm not sure. But what I think is most exciting is there's Mia, grown-up Mia, because Mia is Autumn's mom, and I love that hairpiece. That classic like hairpiece in bright red, that is an awesome color for that hair. I really like red Lego hair pieces anyway, because I just think that the color lends itself very well to hair pieces. So that's really cool. I love that we have grown-up Mia here. I really hope that we get more grown-up Friends in other sets. And then lastly, we've got the Heart Lake International School. No piece count for this one, weirdly, but it is going to be $100 US. I think it looks like pretty decent value for money. But again, it seems a little bit boring on the outside. Like, the staggered windows are kind of interesting, but everything just seems very flat and white to me, which doesn't really appeal to me. I mean, I like that it's an international school. That's cool. And it does kind of remind me of like some of the schools that I attended like when I was younger, because I did attend a lot of international schools when I wasn't living in the US. but it doesn't really speak to me. So I don't think that this is a set I will be buying. But we've got Ollie in this set with that hairpiece, and I do like the metallic color of his sleeves. I don't know. I'm assuming this is like a teacher or principal character, but I really like this mini doll. That's Leanne again, I think. Although it doesn't look like she has hair, or maybe she does and it's just not visible. I don't know. And then there's like a closer look at Autumn's missing limb, which again it's a really nice piece. Although I will say the one thing about this is that mini doll necks are the same size as minifigure like hands and mini doll hands. Like you could decapitate a mini doll and like grab them by the neck in the hands of a minifigure or another mini doll. And I'm wondering if that is also a bar connection. Like, I wonder if that's going to fit into minifigure hands. Because if it does, I feel like people are going to bully her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when you're playing, you could pick her up by the arm and have, like, other minifigures, like, carry her around, which would be like, kind of funny in a toy context that's not funny in real life. But yeah, I wonder if Lego's thought about that, and I wonder if they've purposely made that too thick for a minifigure hand to hold. Although I think that if your child is pretending to bully a kid with a missing limb, you have bigger problems on your hand, and you should probably get them checked out. So I do want to see the interior of this set because I think that it's going to be pretty cool. Like I can see a microscope. I think like this room is interesting. But yeah, there's just not a lot to go off of right now. So that does it for like the Friends reboot. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. I think it's a great idea. It is a big change. It is going to like take a little bit of time to get used to. But Lego Friends has long been one of Lego's best themes, and I'm very excited to see it changing, and hopefully for the better. I don't love the builds as much as usual here, but I like the characters and mini dolls a lot more. So I hope that we get some builds that personally appeal to me a little bit more, like next summer or something like that. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.